Hello, hello, hello. I started this last week and I wanted to work on it some more today, YouTube Tuesday, over in my Facebook group. Getting back to the basics is the series, and I was excited because the next stage of this is going to be really fun. We got the pages together. We broke open a new paper pack and chose what we wanted for the cover. We chose some papers that were not part of the paper pack to go in. So, meaning, random book pages or music pages. We have some assorted sizes, cardstock in here from the paper pack. This is a book page. This is a pocket we made, which, let's see if I can. I have everything right up here. This is what I wanted to do with this. Let's make sure this is the top. This is the top. So this just gives the pocket the extra little bit. Now we'll distress that. Hi, Kim Greenleaf. Hi, Tammy. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Making Memories with Melody, YouTube Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining in. Let's see. We have the paper. See, the thing is that let me do a little recap. My goal was to help people who came from, say, card making or scrapbooking. And hi, Vintage Barbie. Hi, Unique Treasure Misty and Angelique. The purple is beautiful. This is a paper pack from a heartfelt collection called Lush Lilac. And I was purchasing a bunch of different papers from companies and seeing what all I wanted to get going in my personal journey in the future. And this one, I love this pack. And but I am not going to be featuring it in my future because some others came up above it, and I needed to settle down on a certain amount. So, but this one is a really lovely, lovely paper, and so I'm excited to share it with you guys. So we're going to make this together, and then at the end, when I get 300 subbies, this is going to be the prize. So we've got the pages together. Different sizes, different types. This is a pocket. This was like a 5x7, like a postcard type thing. We folded it, glued it together, folded it in half. Some cardstock. So and this is a magazine cover. This is a book page. This is a decoupaged scrapbooking paper. And this was what my point was, is that the tendency to think, oh, I'm just going to get rid of all my scrapbook paper. It just isn't going to fit in. Well, you can adjust it. You can change it. You can alter it, and you can make it fit in. So don't get rid of it. Just find ways to use it. So that's our center. So this is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't count that little pocket. 6. I don't count those. 7. That one's okay. 8, 9. 9 pages plus the cover. So that's what we have for that. Now, I have these, let's see, there was ephemera in the pack. So I took the pages out that I wanted to work with, and we were starting to cut them down. Let me just dump this all out. This is just going to end up being one of those things where I struggle with it when I don't want to. And I'll put back what I don't want to mess with. This is a really nice detail, and this was part of a page. Let's see. So I cut out and started working with a couple of these. So I'll save this. And I cut off of here. So we'll use this and this for sure today. These were too big, so they don't get to participate. But it happens. They'll get to participate in something else. This one is perfect. I really like this one. And all of these. So these were the ones that we're going to get involved. Let me show you though, because I had started like this here. Here we go. This is when you, like the one with the pocket, this will And this was from a cutoff page. So I added, let's see, I think there's a pocket on this side right here. And I added one of the journaling cards that had this thinking of you today at the bottom to make it larger. And then I glued that on. I distressed it with a sage. Where did I put the... Let's set them right here. Bundled sage is what I use to distress these. I will use some other colors in here, but that one just gave the green a little bit more of life, and I liked that. So, but there is a pocket there, and that's one of the stamps. Then on the other side, it will have, I cut this off of that tag, and it's a tuck spot. And then on the back, this isn't a pocket. This is just a journaling spot. And there's part of that trim that I had cut off that page. So that's something that ended up getting done that day. Because I'm trying to remember. You know, a week goes by, you forget. But we have all these pieces. This is something that I have a book of these this size. They're really awesome. I made a couple. I made one into an actual tag so far. These are the fold out. These are the cutoffs from the pages. Oh, Bailey's going to be so excited. Bailey is one of our honoraries in my Facebook group. She is, I don't know, I want to say 11, but I could be wrong. And I wouldn't want to be wrong, so I'll just not say because I don't know. Now these I had because I thought that they would be fun to layer up with these butterflies, so I'm going to keep a hold of those. Okay, so now I can put this paper away because I don't think I'm going to do anything more as far as adding any more paper, because I'm going to bulk up with pockets and things. Now this came out of a book I was gifted. This book was gifted to me by my friend Patty. Postal Commemorative Society U.S. First Day Covers and Special Covers. So it was a really cool book. And I thought I would use the pages in books that the colors or the theme matched. Well, I was going through here, and lo and behold, here's a purple one. And I'm going to add it into the book. Now, I've got to figure out exactly, trying to decide if I want to. I'm going to have to fold it in half. So let me get my scoreboard. If I can fit this on here with everything else I have on my table. How's everybody doing today? Is everything going well for everybody? I sure hope so. I had a great Monday, got a lot done, and now YouTube Tuesday comes. Now, how did I get that completely off? Is it the, oh, you know what? It's the way I cut it. I cut it out of the book. So now I've got to fix that a little bit. It just went off just enough to make it to where it won't fold right. Got to pick the straight edge. That'll be close enough. I'm not sure what I did to make the top and the bottom not equal, but it will work. Now, let's distress this really quick so that we know that it's ready. And I could round these corners. Oh my gosh. If I could find things, I'm telling you what I could accomplish in the world. That's really all what slows me down the most is not being able to find what I'm looking for. I'm going to fix this a little bit. It's the way I cut it out of the book, but I like things to be a little odd. I just don't want it to be that odd. So there we go. Okay, so now let's distress this. And I have 3 or so different shades of purple to work with. Let's see. Dusty Concord, Wilted Violet, Seedless Preserves, Frayed Burlap. I think I'm going to go with the Dusty Concord. And I'm going to try to keep it light and airy, not real heavy. I don't know. Now I'm thinking I don't want Dusty Concord now that I see it. This cover looked like I wanted it, but the inside didn't. Let's just look at the insides. This is where the swatches that people do, they swatch out things and could tell with the color. That one. That's the one I want. You know what? I wonder. Dusty Concord. Yes. The lids got mixed up. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you, Ranger, for putting the name on the back too. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble. I'd be in such trouble. Now, I just grabbed out and set over here. I got all this sorry ribbon on the table because I wanted to show you guys the technique with it. And so okay, I'll just use one of the, oh, I put it in there. See how I am? I just mess things up for myself most of the time. It's not even really that anything's a problem. It's just me, scatterbrained me. But that's okay. Okay, let's see. Don't forget to do the printable on the Ranger, and you can swatch them. Oh, Barbie, I'm sorry, Barbie. Angelique, that is an awesome idea. And for people who would literally take the time to do that, that is such a great suggestion. I am too scatterbrained to get that done, but it would be a wonderful addition. I wanted to do that with my Inktense pencils. I bought the big set, and I have found that when I work with them, they don't look like the color on the pencil. So that's something that I have to think about. Okay, so let's see about doing a little stenciling on here just for the fun of it, right? Just for the fun of it. Just because we can. This one's, I'm not sure why is it coming up? That's what it is. I'm like, it's feeling like it's moving around in a way that I'm not used to it. Let's see if this one's better. I got these from Wish. They're makeup sponges, and so I just thought I'd try it out. Okay, so there's that one. And now let's do this on this side. I'm standing up because it'll be easier for me to see where I'm at on the page. So this is just a little bit of dimension. It's not a lot of work, and and you can just buy some basic colors, but it sure does add something to it, you know. It just takes the blah out of it. So there we go. That'll be good enough. Not trying to make it to where it's not readable or anything or covered up. I just wanted to accent it. So I'll put this in here with this one, and I'll try to remember that's where I put them. That's usually the issue for me. Now, I want to do something to the back of this, but I wonder what. Do I want to make a pocket, a tuck spot? Ugh, all the ribbons in the way. These are the ones that I've pre-cut, but that doesn't mean that I have to stick to just these. These are just the options. I could even go as far as to spray it and make a tuck spot out of this. That might be what I end up doing right here. Hi, Crystal. Yeah. Oh, I wish it wasn't upside down now. Maybe I could do it this way. Let's try this. There we go. That's more what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to tear this off here. And this is just the leftovers of a book page that I used in the kit, or in the book. I'm going to turn this over, even though that's not attractive. I just don't want to get any of that purple in there until I'm ready to actually get purple in there. Got to have it, do it when I want it, not when it wants to. Okay, so up in here is my purples. And two pretty good purples. I have this one, which, let's do this. That's kind of cool. Oh, it does it on both sides. Now I'm going to do this because this side is wet. Let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, cool. So now this again, this is made out of markers. There's a little bit of mica powder in there. but like I said, I'm not trying to cover this up. I'm just trying to enhance it in a way that will look nice with the project. And since my project has white in it, I don't have to distress it in like a antiqued way. I don't have to turn it brown or beige or yellow or faded or anything. It can stay white. So what I'll do now is take this, and this is just, you know, these are just the little things that you make out of the extras that you have left over. And so this is like detail work. And you don't have to put a ton of work or money into these. They're just the accents, right? Just accenting. Boy, I hate to decide on which side, but I already had wanted that side. I don't know. It'll work out. It'll work out. So let me do this. Let me do this. This will be our stencil for this set. That's what I do sometimes. Tammy, if you're in NJJM, there's a tutorial in our files that shows, but otherwise you put alcohol in a bottle, take the felt out of inside of a Sharpie or other type of marker, put it in there and let it sit. And then you will have alcohol ink. And you can create your own colors, and it's really, really cool. And for me, when I started doing it, I had all my grandchildren's old markers, so I was set. You can get some of the bottles from the Dollar Tree. You can get some from China, and then you could buy them all over the place. Walmart or the Michaels and everywhere. Okay, so this is just messy work. I just want it to not be completely white, right? Okay, so now I'm going to put this on top of here. And already, even without any of the fancy paper that I bought or anything expensive, you know, just a stencil and some homemade alcohol ink and a dauber from China. And I mean, I just don't want you guys to run to Michael's and Joann's and spend your whole budget there. It's awesome to go there and hit the sales or use the coupon or something that you can only get there. But please don't feel you need to spend a lot of money on the idea of starting this stuff. Okay, so I got to get my head together. Let's do this so that I don't forget. I would hate to leave this side looking exactly like that because I think it looks better with just this accent purple on there. The multiple purples I think looks really well. Take some of that white out, but not all of it. Okay, so this is the way that it will be, right? And this is removable. This is an envelope. And it has the postmark on it and everything from September 1995. And this is Louis Armstrong. Commemorative stamp, I would assume. The word is commemorative? I might be wrong. You're welcome, Tammy. You are welcome. I can show you really quick. I have it right here. Oh, right here. This is the alcohol that I buy and use. 70%. It's lesser expensive. It takes a little longer to evaporate, but it all just depends on how much money you want to put into it. You can get it to be higher percentages depending on where you live and what you're doing, where you're looking online and things, but 70%'s worked fine for me. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to have it go up a little and down a little. So now I am going to use my awesome stapler, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue down first. And I have this wonderful art glitter glue, which everyone swears by who's been doing this kind of art for a while. And I want to make sure that my paper is right side up, and it is. So I'm just going to put a little bit. Supposedly a little bit goes a long way, so we'll see. And I wanted it a little bit above and a little bit below. There we go. Now, I just want to explain something, ladies. I don't come into this with a plan, so what you see is what you get. I don't take the time to plan ahead to see if I think that this would be a good match or not. It's just, I'm going to put 2 on each side because these are my mini staplers and I love them. The year you were born, you baby. I'm telling you, I feel really old when I hear that. Now we can do something to this side, and since this side already looks so pretty, so pretty, let's just add one of these journaling cards. I don't know why, but that whole little umbrella thing just isn't my thing. I don't know why it bothers me, but I just don't care for it that much. Now that's a nice contrast. I like contrast. I used to really love monotone, and I still do, but contrast now is something that I work hard to create. Now this one, what is it with I'll just cover that up. I just don't really like the little, it's silly. I know. Now I don't want to glue on top of these because I want that to be able to come out. So I'm going to have to be very careful. Let me distress this a bit and get this where I want it. Could come back in with that green too soon, but right now I think the purple will pop off the purple really nice. So if you happen to see these on China site, which is a JOOM Zoom, they were worth the price. They take a while to get to you, but they were worth the price. They're doing a really good job for this. I don't know how well they would have done for makeup. I don't know. So let me see if I can get a little bit of this print on here right in the center, or maybe up here because I plan on covering up that one area. There we go. All right, that one's ready to be put on here. And I think I'm going to do it about like that. So let's get our art glitter glue. Make sure you know which is your up and your down, or else you will put the glue in the wrong spot, which has happened to me more times than I would like to admit. Let's see, remember I'm trying to not get those little, the card part, the tips of the envelope. Okay, so I've gotten that there. Now what I would really like is to use something to cover this area up, because I'm not exactly excited about, but I don't want to cover up everything. So what does a girl do? What does a girl do? Well, there was a smaller, there was this. And that's kind of awesome. Let me look here though. Where's my corner puncher thingy? What would I do with this if I put it on there? I could put a Tim Holtz word on there. Let me cut this down just a tiny bit and redo these corners because I want it to be just a tiny bit smaller. Always feel like you can alter things, ladies. Never look at something as you have to use it the way that it came. I could fussy cut this whole thing out if I had time and make it even more unique. So let's do this. And I think I have, I thought I had, I won't be able to find them right now because that's the way things work for me. But I have a bag of the Tim Holtz the things where you have the words and stuff. So that's probably what I'll use if I don't find something else I can cut out that I like better. But there we go. Now it'll fit in the center more. I don't know why that just looks a little, I'm going to leave it. You know what? And I'm going to make it a little tuck. I'm going to make it a little tuck. So I'm going to do like this on this side and across the bottom and up this side. So the reason I'm doing this is not because I have to, because I need to, but because I just don't care for the umbrella. So I'm just altering it enough. Just enough. Plus layering up, that's the whole point of layering, is creating dimension and depth and more interest. So that gives me a little bit more. So let's create little tags. The back is really pretty here. I don't have to do anything to the back of this because the back is a cardstock. If you cut your own tags, you may have to do a pattern on the back or spray it with some ink or, you know, something along those lines. But we'll do these 3, and we'll put these 3 little tiny cute tags into that spot that I used just to cover up because I didn't like the umbrella, which there's the umbrella, but I don't care. It's on this. This is so tiny. And I don't even know why I don't like it, ladies. It's not a big deal. I don't want anyone to be like, hey, I love umbrellas. Why don't you love it? It wasn't fantastic. That's all. It was great, just not fantastic. So I'm going to put all 3 of these in a row. Ducks in a row. I'm going to hit 3 birds with 1 shot, and I'm going to put this in my crocodile right on the circle that was already there with my crocodile. This is Butch, and we have these little tags that go there, and they could definitely use some more layering, so we'll see. I might, that's the thing though, is I can leave some things for the person who receives this to. Let me look at how that would look. That would not look terrible, but I don't want the silver, so I'm going to try, which I won't be able to cut a decent circle. I won't. I thought maybe I could. I could leave the silver. What is it about cutting straight or curved lines without all the choppiness that's so difficult? I wonder if it's my hands or the scissors. I'm going to blame the scissors today, ladies, because that makes me feel a little better. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Now, this is a sticker that came from when people give out donations to companies, you know, charities and stuff, and they send you little stickers. This is one of those. And so that's a good way to recycle, upcycle something, right? I'm going to put it on here. It's probably not going to be the most fabulous thing ever, but you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to add this. And to do this, I need, let me set this down. I need a different glue because when I do this type of work, I use this glue, Helmar 450 quick dry adhesive. I've been using this even before I got into heavy duty junk journaling. It's just always been a glue that I've enjoyed having around the house. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to fray it. I'm going to put some glue down right there. I'm going to put this at an angle because my my area is oblong, my sticker is oblong, and so I'm going to make my lace oblong. It's not lace. It's actually a scarf material, knitted scarf material. There we go. That's what I'm thinking. There we go. All this created because I didn't want to see that umbrella. So it's okay to feel like that. Look what you can do just by layering. Now these would benefit a lot from, I have, what do I have? I can show you what I have. I have these tiny ones, and the colors I think I can make work. Let's see, I got to change my to a smaller tip so that it flattens without crushing it. And sometimes I still crush them. So I have kind of a creamy, I like this color here. This is the ones I use majorly are 3/16. This is a 1/8 size eyelet that you use. Not sure why that's. Let's try it again. There we go. There, well, it's still just a little big for this paper, but it's still there. So I'll do another one. I like the creamy, kind of a yellowish color. Oh, these are so tiny, guys. I hate working with tiny stuff. Oh, and the nails don't help. They're beautiful, but they don't help. Okay, come on. There we go. And then one more. Now I get these at secondhand stores or the bins, but I will buy certain ones at outlet.com. That's my go-to place to buy the eyelets that I need for the things that I'm doing. These are the ones that I'll find and I'm like, oh, I can use that. That'll be fun, right? And it is always fun to find a way to use something that you got cheap or secondhand or free, who knows. But now these could have a tiny bit of ribbon, but I don't know if this, sorry, will work in there. We'll see. We will see. So what I do with ribbon, or whatever I'm doing in this, is I fold it in half. They don't all have to be exactly the same length. Let me turn this glue off. It's going to just keep running like a faucet. Something about the pressure inside there, I think. Now, I usually find something along the lines of this, or a narrow set of tweezers. And I try to pull it through. These ones, it's a little harder because they're so tiny. But sometimes, yeah, I don't know. Because what will happen is if you force it and you try to pull something through that doesn't fit, it'll just pull the eyelet out of this paper. And you don't want to do that because you just got that in there. Yeah, I'm going to have to skip that. That's okay. I got another, this one will work. This one will work. And I'll cut it in fourths. Okay. This is not the old vintage seam binding, but I think a more modern version. So we'll be able to get this one through here. I would have liked that other color, but this will be nice too. So then you pull that circle out to where you can get the ends through it. And you got to be really careful. I say this every time, because if you yank on it, you'll pull your eyelet out of or you'll just tear the whole thing and ruin all the top of it. So I'm holding the eyelet with my thumbnail and I'm pulling these. And now I'm going to do this. And this. And that one's done. Now let's go to the next one. There we go. There we go. Alternate between the two so that it doesn't pull all of it one direction. Sometimes it's catching though, so that one, I don't know what's happening. Only one of them wanted to be pulled on. There we go. It's okay that they're uneven. That's actually, well, that was typical of me. Grab one thing, pull three others. I used to look at it as it was a very annoying. Now I just look at it as a talent. Look at me. I think I can just grab one thing, but in reality I can grab everything on the table. Gotta find our positives and the negatives, ladies, where we can. There we go. This one's going to be a little shorter, but it'll still be okay. There we go. Put them through. Hold the eyelet. And pull and alternate till it all gets where you want it. And then cut off those ends in a decorative way. Or pull them, shred them, whatever, you know, whatever you're looking for. Okay, so there they are. Now this will be a page in the book. Let me get this glue off here. It's going to drive me crazy. The glue vomited on my scissors. My glue doesn't behave in public at all. I'm getting used to it. I'm going to put this back where I found it because I never want to not be able to find that. So things that I really, really, really want to be able to find, I actually put back. Other things I just lay around and then I either find it or I don't. Okay, so this is what we've made so far with the page from a book that was gifted me, from some of the ephemera from the kit, and some scrap fabric and a little sticker from charity thing. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. This is what it looks like on the back side. So now we got to make a couple of journaling cards or tags or both. This one is a journaling card because it could actually be journaled on. And this one could be journaled on. So I'm going to use these two. Excuse me. Let's do this faintly, not and randomly. There we go. So there's on there. I'm not putting this back in the ink because I don't want it to be heavy. I just want it to be a faint, like a shadow. There we go. Just break it up a little bit. Okay, so those actually are fine the way they are. I could sew some trim on them. I could glue some bling. I could do so many different things, but for now, because of time and whatnot, I'm going to just put them in here so you can see. The reason I was trying to have journaling cards was to go into this. And that's why I wouldn't want them to be too thick or too, too many layers on top. Because that would take away from it going into the book. You see what I'm saying right there? Okay. So now let's figure out. This will make our 10th page. I think we were at 9. Let me put this on here. I don't want that to get on my cover. Okay, so now we open up and we have a music page, which can be altered. I just haven't done it, and I don't know if I will. I might leave it for the next person. For the true owner, I'm thinking, no, that's too busy. That's too busy. Probably right here. I think that's nice. And I think I'm going to add this onto here. And I might even spray it a little bit. I don't know. So yeah, I'll spray it just a bit. Use this to block all this off. We've got that one. Then bring this over and lay it down. And we've got that one. Not perfect, but I never promised perfect. In fact, I usually fight against perfect. You know, there's also the idea of washi tapes. I don't know what I have for purple washi tapes. I do have this one. It's kind of pretty, and I think it would be pretty on top of actual purple. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just take a line down because I usually give washi an extra bit of help. And there we go. There's something there. And we can go over this with this to get more dimension and use the other color that's back there as background. That's why this having these two different purples has been working out really well. If they were the same, they wouldn't stand out from each other. Okay, so let's see. There we go. That helps a little bit. Wouldn't hurt to throw a little bit closer. There we go. Okay. Oh, my chair. Sorry, ladies. I like that, though. It's a little bit wet. Let me... Alrighty, so now this one definitely needs to be accented. When I started this, it wasn't at the stage of trying to make final decisions about what I was going to do with things. And so now I've gotten a little bit further in my accenting. So now I want to make sure to bring this in. This will help tie it all together. It's like once you pick an accent theme or I don't know what the word would be, guys, but it's basically if you're going to do something, you want to have it flow through the journal, whether it's the inking the edges, or it's stenciling, or you have a sticker that you have, like I'll put more of those butterflies through. You can put just one, and that would be awesome, but it needs to have some things that what we call continuity, brings it all together, that it's in the same flow, it belongs in the same journal. Then you bring in the things that are unique and one of a kind, but they maybe have a little bit of that color or that sticker or that stencil or something on it, so that it all just, like I said, it's continuity is what it basically boils down to. But this is a distress oxide ink, so if I wanted, I could spray this and make it react, which would be kind of cool, but I kind of like it being solid like this too. That would go towards a grungy feel, and I'm not sure that that's where I'm going with this particular project. So I'm going to do this white edge right here a little bit, break it up a bit. Oh, there goes the dogs. Okay, so that's both sides of that. I'm much happier with that. This is something I'm going to show you that I love to do. I love to use glitter glues. Trying to see, oh, I'm at 44 minutes. Okay, guys, this will be the last thing we do. I'm going to glitter up these wings, and then we will come back next Tuesday and work on some more on this journal, getting back to the basics, and just bringing out the basic techniques of making a single signature journal out of breaking a paper pack, right? And then using some of your stuff from what you have at home, or you've collected out at the secondhand stores, garage sales, neighbors, friends, family. There's so much stuff, so many places. And then that creates a whole nother issue of being careful not to overdo it. Don't get yourself too much stuff to deal with, because not only will it be hard on your space to deal with it, but it will also create too many options, and sometimes that's almost harder. Sometimes if you just know what you're going to do with a few things is better than giving yourself too many options, at least in the beginning. Because once you learn the techniques, you'll have a flow of what you can do with items. It's kind of like learning English before you try to write a book. Write a book. You just need to know the fundamentals. So once you get those, then the rest will all come together. Okay, there is some glitter glue on these butterflies. There's stenciling and oxide ink with the stencil. And there we go. And that's going to be today's lesson or tutorial or hanging out, whatever you want to call it, however you want to look at it. It's up to you. I'm just doing what I do, and I'm happening to be doing it on camera. So I want to thank everybody so much for joining me. And my purple hands tell you big hugs. And thank you for joining me for getting back to the basics. And check me out next week. It'll be a new installment of this same journal. Bye, guys.